Hello, and welcome in the love and light of the one creator. So, um, I have decided to do this on a regular way, regular basis, and to talk about these kind of things more regularly, and yeah, to post it. Will keep posting these videos because um, I think it's the right thing to do. And I will call these videos Breakfast with Max for various reasons. The first one is that yesterday a friend of mine suggested this title, um, but also because I think it's a very clever title. And as soon as I heard it, I thought that's great. Let's keep it. And you know why? Because, well, breakfast gives you the idea of the morning, the first um, food that you eat in the morning. Generally, the first thing you do in the morning, you have breakfast, or one of the first things. Doesn't matter really. But that goes, and even more importantly, that goes into the idea of awakening. And this is the first meal after awakening or during awakening. That's up to you to decide. This doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But this idea of awakening is really interesting and really very important, and that's something that we really have to discuss because I think that's also talking about awakening. That's also, uh, I think, a good starting point where we really start our journey. Why? Because awakening is um, our next step, the step that this planet and the conscious that we are, remember the fourth law, the all is one, the one is all, which means that we actually live separate. We have a personality. We think that we are separated. We are one between a lot. In fact, we are all only one. There is the all is one. The one is all. So we are part of this consciousness. So it's a move that concerns all of us. Awakening. And what does awakening means? That's the big question. And that's something that probably some have already heard about, some not. And there are many ways of describing awakening. I was talking about the fact that it looks like the pineal gland awakening. So suddenly, poof. Yeah, why not? That's an explanation that you can give about awakening. There are others. There are other explanations, and I think that the explanation that have the most impact and the most meaning to me is the fact of saying that awakening actually is the fact of awakening to yourself, because everything comes from inside of you. It's the recognition of you being inside of yourself and not the other way around. which means that your body doesn't contain you, but it's you that contain your body. So um, the recognition that you are inside, so the fact of going inside of yourself and awakening to the reality of what you are, not whom, what. There is no what, there is no whom, there is only what, a creator, God, God the creator. You create your reality. Or we have already talked about this, and I keep talking about this because I think this is the basis. And as a consciousness, as this our planet, our human race, as a consciousness, we are not there yet. We are awakening. More and more people on Earth are awakening, or starting, I should say, starting to awaken. But the real understanding of the self being part of the global self, I mean, your body being part of your um, godness, is something that is really difficult to, I think, these are concepts that are difficult to understand and to accept. Um, we have to remember that we, from an early age, actually, since we were born, we have been taught not to believe, not to accept what we were feeling, what we were. And so, with um, this education, we start to accept the outside world as being the real world, whereas your inside world is real. It's a real you. This image that you say, this image that you can see of you in the mirror and this kind of things, that's not real. That's something that you create to manifest yourself in this plan of existence. Yeah, very scary, isn't it? Um, that's not taught, isn't it? That doesn't exist. No schools are saying this kind of things. No one is talking about you being, I mean, very few people, to be, very few people are talking about you being God, being the creator God. Except that all the channeling work, all the information we receive from extra dimensional or pluridimensional beings that uh, contact us, that come to us in many ways, that's what they say. All are saying the same thing. And you know what make me understand when I listen to someone that talks about this kind of things, when I listen to a channel, when I listen to um, a whistleblower that comes out from some shadowy organization linked to a government or whatever, and they suddenly start coming out and talking, and they say things, and how I know that they are saying the truth? Because they are saying these kind of things, and they all say the same thing, although they may not exactly all understand the meaning of all they are saying, because we're awakening, but in the understanding there is a lot of work to do. And I'll come to this another time, another moment. And so, with this disconnection from our um, being. And then the lessons or the way we learn from our parents, from school, we are obligated to embrace another way of seeing things, which is a way that is external to ourselves. And we start to believe, as I was saying, that the outside world is the real world. And so, at some point, some moment, you decide that that is not true. You see that that is not answering your questions because you start questioning. I have been certainly questioning a lot of things. My favorite word in English is remember. And I was saying, wow, that's a wonderful word. Until I realized that that was a message to myself. Remember. Remember what? What you are. A creator. Remember. See? And I'm not an exception. These things happen to everyone. Synchronicity things, a message on a mirror or on a wall, you pass by, there is a word that is there for you, or I mean, you see that because it's a message for you, and etc., etc. We are constantly giving ourselves information, information, information that most of us are ignoring. But free will, so that's fine. It's not a problem. You're missing nothing. It was there for you to see in that moment, and then that moment was finished. Another moment came, and you keep going. But all this creates in you, whether you realize it or no, whether you see the message or not. The message was there for you and you saw it. Even if you didn't see it with your eyes, you saw it in another way. So it goes into your consciousness. And at some point, you start questioning everything. Because you don't receive the answers, do you? They don't give you answers. Religion doesn't give you answers. Or at least the answers may be there, but they are interpreted in the wrong way so that you cannot understand the answer. The Bible is full of truths that have been manipulated so that you actually cannot get the truth out of it until someone comes along and say, well, this means that, and not what you thought of what they say, because what they say, it's manipulation. Most religions are not there for enlightening you. They are there for another reason, which is power. Governments are there for power. People do everything they can in order to be elected in a position. They are not doing it for you. They are doing it for themselves. I think that should be obvious to any person using their brain. How can you believe that anyone will go and get elected for you? Really? Really? You believe that? Okay. Good for you. You can keep believing that. Doesn't matter. But the bottom line of it is that for all of these people, is a question, for all of this, is a question of power. And the power over what? Over whom? Over you, obviously. They want to keep you under control. They want you to have the power, the spiritual, material spiritual power. They believe in the material world, so they talk about spirituality, but they just are there in order to control you. So your job is what? Is that of asking questions and to yourself, and start questioning the answers you receive from the outside, which are the answers that you can receive from a friend, from family, from religion, from politics, or from whatever. And finally, start looking in other places. And where is the most important place where you can find the answers? Inside of yourself. There is no way, no other way. That's the correct way to look for answers. You are the answer, and that's inside of you. You are inside of you, and so you don't have to go really very far in order to find this question, this answer. Actually, the question is, are you wanting to do it? And many people don't want to, but many others have decided to do it. Why? Because as a global consciousness, our planetary consciousness, we are moving forward. But we are also in a place in the universe where these things are encouraged. There are new energies around us that push us to make this discovery of ourselves, of awakening. And awakening to what? To our truth. To the fact that we are what? A creator. And we create what? Our reality. And we co-create it with everyone that is here and now. That's that simple, my dear. And once you awaken to this truth, so you awaken to yourself. And that's the meaning of awakening. Throwing out everything you believe and awakening to yourself. Going inside of yourself and awakening to yourself. Because that's the only way to awaken. And once you awaken to what? You awaken to yourself. To you as a creator of your reality. Which means that you are responsible of everything that happens to you. Nothing can be done to you without your consent. Who or what or whatever is giving your consent, you, as I said, you are inside of yourself and not the opposite. So you are the manifestation of you, but obviously you are the creation of yourself, and yourself, the creator, the God, is bigger than your body, obviously. So there you have your consent. You don't have to have consciousness of that consent. But nevertheless, from the moment that you are in the presence of other co-creators, you can come to the conclusion that there is a consent between your higher self, let's call it that way, and their higher selves to co-create that moment. So whatever happens, you are co-creating it. Doesn't matter positive or negative, is an experience, is a moment. You create what moment? And there you go. Negativity, the negative side. When bad things happen, how can I be responsible of that? I didn't ask for it. It wasn't me. They didn't ask for my consent. Blah 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 blah. The victim, the ego, victimization. You like to be a victim. Remember it, that you like being a victim. Don't lie to yourself. You want to be a victim. What do you think? Climate change. What is it? If it isn't victimization, you all together, coming together as a consciousness, finally agreeing that you are bad because you are polluting the environment, you are destroying Earth, and blah 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 blah. Yeah. That's what climate change is, actually. You are creating it. There is no pollution. There is no gases or whatever doing it. You are doing it. Yeah. Or we are doing it as a global conscious. Which allows you to play victim. So that it proves to you that you are bad. Oh, great. Finally, it's confirmed I'm bad. Yeah, this way you can complain about being bad and you keep complaining. Yeah, great. Oh, so compliments to the house. What I was saying, you are what? A creator. What do you create? Your reality. You create your moment. Nothing is real. Everything is a creation of you or a co-creation of you with everyone and every other co-creators. Do you think that that is real? If you are not real, the rest is not real. It's a co-creation. So you have a choice now. You stop being a victim. You take responsibility for yourself. You are what? A creator. A creator. God is not a victim. You cannot be a victim. So stop being one. Or creating the environment where you can be one. That's bullshit. But I mean, if you want that to be your reality, you can keep doing it. By all means. That's your choice. You have a choice to make. If that's your choice, it's right. Everything is correct in the universe. If that's your choice, that's correct. Now you have another choice that you can make, which is awakening. Awakening to what? To you, the creator. I think the choice should be easy for anyone. There is only one choice that should be your choice, but that's what I think. That's my reality. That's what I will choose. Doesn't mean that you have to choose the same way as I do. You have what? You have free will, and you exert. You have to, and you are the freedom to use it at your will. But know this, because this is important. You can deny it as long as you want. But if you believe that you can keep for eternally to deny it, at some point you will realize it too. It's just a question of moments. You are already realizing it in this moment. It's just not you, it's another you in another moment. Another incarnation, why not? But that's the direction you take. And as there is no time, Yeah, we already talked about that. Time doesn't exist. It's an illusion. It's an illusion that we can say derivates from our movement in space. Whatever. It's an illusion we have. It's just an illusion. It doesn't exist. So everything is happening at the same time, all over the universe. And again, don't expect me to give you proofs of anything. Remember, I don't give proofs. I don't have to give proofs. There are no proofs. It's just the way it is. You take it or you leave it. That's your choice. But proofs? Don't ever dare to ask for truths, for proofs. Why? As I said, the truth, the answers are inside of yourself. So whatever I can tell you, or I could tell you, or whatever proof I could give you, that's nothing, because the only proof, the only real proof that you can get, it's inside of you. So asking for proofs is asking for validation. Do you need validation? No. God doesn't need validation. That's your ego. So I hope I haven't been carried away too much. That I could give. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, I'll explain it. I may explain this another time. Okay, another moment. Um, but anyway, I hope you will find your light, your awakening. Yeah, I wish you to find it. I wish you to be able to do that work for yourself. In the light and the love that you want to create. Shine. Shine your light. Because it's right and it's wonderful and it's amazing.